Welcome to our midweek devotions. Please allow me to read for you from Psalm chapter 41, verses 10 through 12. But you, O Lord, have mercy on me. Raise me up that I may repay them. I know that you are pleased with me, for my enemy does not triumph over me. In my integrity, you uphold me and set me in your presence forever. One of the best tests of a Christian's spiritual condition is not what he is when things are going well or that he's successful. Rather, the greatest disclosure of what he is actually occurs when he is in the place of adversity. Adversity reveals a person's soul. In Psalm chapter 41, David was at just such a point in his life. He was undergoing much adversity. This psalm is a passionate prayer for God's mercy at a time of illness, when David was seriously ill. You can see that in verse 3. At a time of malice, when he was surrounded by slandering friends who longed for his death. You can see that in verses 5 through 8. They speak falsely, he said, when they come to see me. There is pretended friendship, cloaked in falsehood. All my enemies, he said, whisper together against me, speaking things secretly in one another's ears. Incidentally, the Apostle Paul spoke of whispering, gossiping, and slandering, and he denounced it as one of the worst sins. And you can find that in Romans chapter 1, verse 29 and 30. David also spoke of adversity at a time of betrayal. And he said one close friend especially sought to do him harm. One in whom he trusted not only deserted him, but insulted and kicked at him, tried to supplant and remove him. David received such callous treatment, but you must remember, the Son of David, Jesus Christ, who although perfect in every way, yet faced treachery from his friends, including one who ate bread with him. So, how did David face this sort of adversity? When enemies were plotting his demise, when friends, supposed friends, spoke maliciously, seeking to undermine him, when betrayal was lurking in the background. David petitioned God again, asking for mercy and help. Again and again, he asked for mercy and help. Raise me up from this sickbed, he pleaded, so I may repay them. I believe his request was motivated by a desire for justice and for the stability of the nation. God preserved David because David was a man of integrity. The integrity could be seen in the posture of his heart. Knowing David's background, he was not perfect, but his heart of contrition, of confession to the Lord, I have sinned against you, and he cries for mercy in verses 4 and 10. It speaks volumes, it spoke volumes to a God who is merciful. The other aspect of what it meant to be a man of integrity was the evidence of humility in David's life. Humility is a leading virtue of one who walks with God. With humility, David called upon God in every difficulty and yielded to the will of God and the ways of God. He cared for the weak. We can see that in verse 1, because God cares for the weak, the poor, the needy, and God blesses those who share his concern. But there's something else we need to know. Being a man or woman of integrity is about taking the high road despite the fact that no one sees, no one even cares. You may experience gossip and backbiting. Can you accept it if only God knows the truth and when God is the only witness to your righteous behavior? Indeed, God may be the only one who understands your motives. Sometimes you will do all you know God has asked you to do only to face ridicule or criticism or even betrayal from others. David had foes and enemies, and so will you and I, because of this fallen world in which we live. As Henry Blackaby explains, at such times, all you can do is maintain your integrity, trusting that God always, always keeps his eyes on you. God does stand with those who walk with integrity, doing what they know is right, regardless of how others may perceive their actions. In times like this, the most important thing is not that people know the truth. The most important thing is that you are a person of integrity, that you live out the posture of integrity before God. When no one seems to understand why you have done something, or when others question whether you have done all you should have done, your confidence should not be in the hope of vindication in the eyes of others. Rather, your confidence must be in the knowledge that God sees and he keeps you right in his sight. You are, in other words, kept in his presence. You see, if you have this confidence, that will be enough to sustain you because he will sustain you. As you face the adversity of enemies, choose to be a person of integrity. I like how Dr. Davis describes integrity. Integrity is a determination of the heart. When I'm afraid, I must do right. When I'm not afraid, I must do right. When my emotions try to lead me the wrong way, I must have integrity. I must do right. When my emotions are doing fine, I must do right. When I'm among the pre-believers, I must do right. When I'm not amongst pre-believers, I must do right. When I'm among committed Christians, I must do right. And when I'm among Christians you can hardly tell apart from the world, I must still do right. When my friends stand with me, I must do right. When my friends attack me, I must still do right. When my friends turn on me, despise me, make fun of me, and put me down, I must still maintain integrity. If my wife and children stand with me, I must do right. If my wife and children don't stand with me, I must still do right. When it's easy, I must do right. When it's hard, I must do right. When there's no cost, I must do right. When the cost seems high, I must do right. When people like it, I must do right. When people don't like it, I must do right. That's integrity. Integrity is the unwavering determination in the heart to do right, no matter what, even in the face of the adversity of enemies. I pray that is so for you also. Amen and amen.